Welcome to the Arun Church podcast, where our mission is bringing life to everyone, everywhere, every day. Each podcast episode features the latest talk from our church, which are released weekly. We're passionate about Jesus, love to worship together, and are committed to changing our community for the better. Connect with us at arunchurch.com.
Amazing. It was quite a small building, but they did that work and they carried on and they prayed into it and they felt God's will for that community. And in 2001, the leaders of the church made the very difficult decision to close it down and to join with us as Arun Church. Many of that congregation came and joined with us and have been part of us for this time. And that's a hard choice to make, but they felt the will of God was in that, and they closed down the church and handed the land to us at Arun Church, which was a huge blessing and an amazing thing for them to do. And we're so grateful for their generosity and their foresight and being obedient to the word of God at that time. At the time, honestly, we didn't quite know what to do with that building. Like Becca said at the start of this service, we've been involved in community work for a very long time, and we did children's play schemes, and we did lots of activities. But that building, as it stood, wasn't really fit for purpose. It was cold, it was made of stone, it wasn't big enough for us to meet in, and it wasn't really suitable for many of the activities. And we dreamt of hosting somewhere that we could reach out to the community and do more. But we had no resources, we had no money, and there was really no way. And then the government approached us with their new initiative called Sure Start. And the whole idea of Sure Start was to give parents of children under 5 a good start in life, a good footing. And they had loads of money going out across the UK to do proactive activities in the community, and in some cases to build a children's centre so that it could be a place to make a difference for the community. And in that area, one by one, all the options for building a building became unavailable. And the only option left was this piece of land. And so they approached the church and they said, can we build a community centre on your site? It will cost about £1.3 million. We'll pay for it and you can own it. Isn't that incredible? So we said, In fact, the leadership at the time spent a long time kind of working through all the kind of legal ramifications of that. But of course, we saw it as God's provision for this church, and so we said yes. And so the design process started, and did you know there's a covenant on that piece of land, because it was a Christian church, that it has to, it's a legal covenant that it has to be licensed for Christian weddings. So we said, if we're building a new community centre, it needs to have a hall of at least the same size so we can do weddings and other activities. So they said, yeah, okay, that's fine. And they said, there's not enough childcare in the area, so it needs to have a nursery for up to 60 children at a time. But seeing as you already run a place in Rustington, do you want to run it? So we said, yes. And so the plans came together, and the coffee shop right in the centre was a bit of a last-minute addition. And it was the idea that all the parts of the building came off a central hub, and the coffee shop would serve as a meeting and greeting space for everybody. And so this design came together, and it was started to be built. And in 2005, the Wickbourne Centre opened. Yes! But it really was by the grace of God. It did not cost the church a penny to create. And yet it was handed over to us. We own the land, we own the building, we operate it, and we run it. Isn't that incredible? So you can see why, even 20 years later, we see the Wickbourne Centre as absolutely God's provision for this church. And the situation was, the deal that with the government was, they have to run children's services from that building for a period of 20 plus years. Which they have been doing. And they have priority use over the public spaces like the hall and some of the meeting rooms and so on during the daytime between 9 to 5. And church has priority use at the other times of the day, evenings and weekends. And so for 20 years, between us, between the local authority and between the church, we have run, for example, parenting courses, teenage support groups, stop smoking groups, cooking and eat classes, children's play schemes, movie nights, youth clubs and youth groups. We've run Christian teaching, alpha courses. We've run breakfast club. Now, the breakfast club we ran for many, many years, and that was providing a free breakfast for up to 40 kids every single morning before school. Absolutely free. And the kids would come in, we'd provide them with breakfast, we'd brush their teeth, and we'd walk them to school. And in 2011, we appeared on BBC Children in Need because they gave us 3 years funding to keep it running. So that building has had so much stuff happen. So many activities for the benefit of the wider community. Some by the church, some by the local authority, and some by other partners like the NHS Trust who do midwife services and health visitor services in the building. For 20 years, the Wickbourne Centre has been the go-to place for people who need help. If you need food bank vouchers, you come to the Wickbourne Centre. If you need CAP debt help, you can come to the Wickbourne Centre. If you need free tea and coffee, you come to the Wickbourne Centre because we're running a warm space. If you need free Wi-Fi and internet access, you come to the Wickbourne Centre. If you need help and support of any kind, you come to the Wickbourne Centre. If you need childcare, you come to the Wickbourne Centre. If you run an Alpha course, you come to the Wickbourne Centre. This centre is absolutely incredible. Hundreds of thousands of people have been coming through it since day one. Hundreds of thousands of people, which means that thousands of people have heard the good news of Jesus because of the activities of the church. And that still happens today. Just this week, I've spoken to 3 different people who've come into the centre for different reasons, and I've got chatting to them, and they've told me about some of their life situations, and I've been able to pray and support them. Isn't that incredible? Because the church is based in an open building that people come in, we get to help them and tell them about Jesus. The mission of the church is bringing life to everyone, everywhere, every day. And this centre is a huge part of how we do that. If you just come to church on a Sunday morning, you possibly don't know about all the stuff that happens. You possibly don't know about all the different things that go on during the week. But we see this as the mission of the church. Life to everyone, every day, everywhere. And so the Wickbourne Centre is absolutely God's blessing to us. And it's not just about the activities that have been run. Of course it's not. It's about the people that have been helped and the lives that have been transformed. And we've got so many people that have heard about the good news of Jesus, that have come to church and have come to faith because of that building over 20 years. And we're going to hear from 2 people whose stories are intertwined with this right now. Paula, Trudy. Come on up.
Thank you, John. John, you look the same in all those photos, even 20 years ago. You still look the same, John. How have you got so youthful? Oh, right. Okay, so this is Trudy, everyone. This is Paula. Let's give them a round of applause. Just before we do the interview, and I'm only asking one question, but just say who you are, Trudy, and just say a little bit about your family.
Okay. What's this on?
Keep going, yeah.
All right, I'll keep going. I'm Trudy. Megan, my youngest, is here somewhere, probably with a child. I've got 2 older children as well. My middle one, my son, gave his life at a big church festival a little while ago. Elaine's still not a believer, but I'm still praying for her and I'm still hopeful that she will be. And we live on the Kingly Gate estate.
Brilliant. And what about you, Paula? Just explain who you are.
Hi, I'm Paula. I'm married to Will and we have 4 children together, 3 of whom attend church. And one unfortunately doesn't, and I actually live on the Wick estate near the Wickbourne Centre.
Brilliant. So, Paula, I'll start with you. How has the Wickbourne Centre changed life for you?
Growing up, I've always had severe anxiety. And when I first went into the Wickbourne Centre nearly 12 years ago, it was safe. Literally an immediate sense of peace and safety directly over me. At the time, I wasn't attending church because I literally just moved to the area. And I didn't know about Arun Church until later on. But the Wickbourne Centre always felt as home, safety. Over the years, I've had mental health crisis. I've had other stuff happening. And Wickbourne has always been my safe place. It's always been that place where I can go. I can celebrate what's happening. I can cry and I don't feel judged because I'm not judged. It's a place of safety. No matter what, it's always been my safe place because of the fact that when you walk through the doors, even if there's no one around, you're just greeted with that sense of peace, like someone's there giving you a big hug. And I can only attribute it to Jesus being within the building. So some people go for a walk along a beach or go sit in a park to listen, to have that peace and that time away to hear Jesus, to talk to him. For me, that's the Wickbourne Centre, and it always has been.
That's amazing. And how about you, Trudy? How has it changed your life?
So we moved to the Wick Estate from Bognor, and it was an emergency move, and we knew nobody. And I got friendly with a lady that used to come to this church, and she talked about the Wickbourne Centre and Kickstart. So Megan would have been about 4. She's 19 now. She'll be 20 in a couple of months. And so we started going to the Wickbourne Centre on a Wednesday afternoon for Megan to go to Kickstart. I had no idea that it was Christian. I had no idea that there was a Christian background to the place. But I just felt safe there, like you said. It's and everybody was so welcoming and so friendly. And so I slowly got to know different people. And then a lot of people here will know my CAP story. So then I got involved with CAP, and there you go.
That's amazing. Brilliant. So thank you, both of you. Great to hear your stories. We're going to hear a bit more about what's going on at the Wickbourne Centre, but let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're going to interview Poppy. So Poppy, I don't know if you know, Poppy is manager of the Play Centre at the Wickbourne. How many years have you been manager there now?
I think 1 and a little bit. I started in October 2023, was it, John? Yeah. I started, who would have thought, eh? But I'm here. That's fun.
I know the answer to this. I'm Poppy's line manager, so we chat a lot about a lot of these things. So
poor Joe. She's got a lot on her plate.
Poppy, how long have you been working at the Play Centre in Wickbourne?
I think 7 or 8 years I've been working there, since I was about 17, I think. Yeah,
brilliant.
It's a long time.
And how many children roughly do you have coming along?
At the moment, we have about 65 children on roll, and also we've got 14 members of staff now, some of which are on maternity leave. But yeah.
Brilliant. That's amazing. Yeah. So Poppy, can you tell us a little bit about your vision for the Play Centre Wickbourne?
Yeah, I feel like I can't really talk about the vision until you realise like the past and where it's come from. So as I've worked there for 7 years, I've I know the place very, very well. I know Wickbourne very well. And I started off just as a practitioner. When I started off, there was a baby room. We were open 8 till 6. It was a really, as I was younger, I just thought, this is great. I just got asked to work there, so it really felt like I was, in my plan to do that. And I've just always had a real passion for Wickbourne. I don't know what it is. I think it comes with a lot of challenges, and I like a good challenge, working in the Play Centre. So when I worked there, it was a bit of a challenge to start off with, and it was actually really interesting what Mum just said this morning about being in the messy, because when I started off, it was in the messy, and I didn't really realise that at the time, and what a healthy culture was. But I was in an unhealthy culture at the time, and I was in the mess. But there were so many times where I got to the point of even getting a new job and lots of different things like that. And there was something that every single time I was like, right, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go, a new journey. There was God being like, hold up. he was like, you're not going yet. There would be a new opportunity for me or something that just drew me back into that place. And I had to really be in the mess. And I'm so grateful for that now, because if you don't go through the mess, then you don't understand how to make it non-messy. I don't know if that makes sense, but like now I know what a healthy culture is and what I needed to do to change it. I know from being a practitioner from down at the bottom really to then working my way up what a practitioner at the bottom needs. So the huge thing of my vision, really, when Mum said to me this morning, she's like, you've got to talk about your vision. I'm a bit like, my head's a bit all over the place sometimes. So my head was like, well, I've got so many visions. So I was like, I don't know where to start. Because there's a vision with my staff. There's a vision with the children. There's a vision with the environment. There's a vision with the church. So there's so many different visions out there that I don't even know where to begin. But I think the biggest thing for me, and because of the location we're in, it does come with a lot of, challenges within that. My biggest thing is to make sure that the children have such a fun and safe environment. And that is just little things like opening the garden every single day. We're a free flow nursery, so the garden door will always be opened. Lots of our children live in flats, so that's like not available for them. So that's a huge thing for me. But also making it that the same for my staff. Sometimes they don't have a safe and fun environment at home, and it feels like home for them at work. And it's an incredible place. And I'm so grateful that I stuck through the messy and I could see how it can turn out now. But to be honest, so many people are really like, oh, you're amazing. I'm like, actually, it really wasn't kind of me. I kind of just lent into God in this. And I was just like, you can take over. Use me, use my body, use what you want to do, but you take over in that. And he completely has. He's guided me the whole way through this. It's completely, it's an amazing place now.
Yeah, that's amazing. So if you was chatting to a new parent who kind of said to you, so what's the difference between your nursery and lots of the other nurseries that are out there that are great, what would you say?
I think I really have tried to make it a home and a family. Like, my team are like my family. I literally could live at Wickbourne with how much I am there, because I do like worship nights there, I do youth there. So it just, I just really wanted it to feel like a home. And I just think it's amazing. So when I started, you wouldn't actually normally get church children going to Wickbourne Centre Nursery, which is crazy to me because sometimes they just live down the road. And that was something I really was passionate about changing. I would be like, no, you take your children here. It is an incredible place. And I was so passionate about that. And that has completely changed because so many of my nieces, my nephews, all of the church children now are coming back to us. And it's such an amazing place because that was something I just really, really wanted to bring into the nursery. Same with staff. I've employed so many staff like Carolina, Emily, Molly, Lucy Cathcart, just all of those people from church to then come into the play centre and to Wickbourne. Lucy's an amazing story because she actually went there as a child to the play centre. She then did youth there. And now I've just employed her for 15 hours a week, which is that just shows Wickbourne isn't just this place. It's a complete circle of life for some people, and literally their whole, life can become something because of the Wickbourne Centre. We may not like the colourful windows. I don't sometimes. But it's just you may look like a building to some people, but that is what has made some people's lives. It's made my life completely different. I have such a better relationship with God because he's taken me on this journey at Wickbourne. I know, and so many children's lives are changed because they go into that centre and they see what love is. And that's my huge vision. Obviously, I do love to make it look nice too, but the environment and the culture is the biggest thing that the vision is of.
Yeah, that's
Don't even know
brilliant,
what
Poppy.
question
Thank
you
you.
asked
And no, it's brilliant, and it's been brilliant watching your journey there. And I love that you want to be a place where the children just feel that love. And I think, for anyone who's been in there, it does feel like that. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you for bringing that. Fantastic. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you.
All this talk about Wickbourne, we've got to condense 20 years into 20 minutes. But I just want to take 1 minute to acknowledge all the people that have been involved. There's so many people in this room who have worked for the church or at the Wickbourne Centre or out of the Wickbourne Centre who've been involved in this story right from the very beginning. Many of you, and I can see many of you sitting here now. I cannot mention everybody by name, there's too many, but could you please give us a wave if you have worked at or out of the Wickbourne Centre over the past 20 years? Can we give these guys a round of applause? Because their stories are intertwined with the development of the centre and why we're here today. My story is the same. My very first proper job was as a youth worker for a community project called the Wire Project. It was a Christian project, and it was based out of the old Wickbourne Chapel in that stone cold building with Al Evans and Paul Sanderson and later with Mark Yates. And we were doing community work. And when the centre got rebuilt, we moved back in and continued doing that work. So my working life and history has been involved with that centre and that piece of land as well. So it's very personal for me to be celebrating 20 years of changed lives because of what God has done through that building, which is absolutely incredible. So you will know that we're talking about developing the centre, and we've been talking about it for a couple of years now, the Wickbourne Centre transformation. And this is because over the 20 years, initially, the government gave the local authority a lot of money to do activities. And the centre was very busy because there was stuff going on all of the time. But in recent years, with government cuts to local authorities, the local authority have had to reshift their focus. And so whereas maybe 10 years ago they were focused on the whole community, now they're very much focused on those who need the most support. And so their remit has shrunk quite a lot. And what that's meant is a lot of the activities they used to run don't happen in the building anymore, and so there's less people coming into the building on a daily basis. There's less footfall because they've had to focus what they do. Now, we work really well with the local authority. We share an office with children's services, and that is absolutely brilliant. Because of that partnership over 20 years, that has given other people the confidence to work with us as a church. So as a result, direct result of working at the Wickbourne Centre, we now have Littlehampton Town Council, Rustington Parish Council, Arun District Council, Angmering Parish Council, and East Preston Parish Council funding our youth work. Because they saw that we were an organisation that was doing good community work and could be trusted. So all of that has come out of what we've done at the Wickbourne Centre, which is brilliant. But we recognise that it's not as busy as it once was, and we need to make some changes. So, hopefully, if you got your newsletter yesterday, you will have seen we are now advertising for a coffee shop manager. I'm really excited about this. Initially, it's 15 hours a week, and it's to run, refresh, and build up that business and get people back in the door and to serve quality products to the people in the community. If you are interested in becoming our coffee shop manager and working with us to turn that thing around, please come and talk to me. You can also go on our website, arunchurch.com/jobs. All the full job description is up there, including the salary and how to apply. I would love to talk to you if you're interested in running the coffee shop and getting that centre busy and making it open all the time. So that's the first thing. Secondly, we've been talking for 2 years about the Wickbourne transformation, turning the Wickbourne Centre into the home of Arun Church. You've heard a lot about home today. I think that's been people's story, is Wickbourne Centre is like home for many, many, many people. But we recognise, because the cafe is in the centre and because there's a curved wall at the front, if you walk past the building, if you drive past the building, if you're new to the area, you don't know what's inside. And it's very hard for people to pluck up the courage to walk into an unknown building, to even know that they're allowed to go in. And so our plans are to open up the front of the centre and turn it around. What we want is the front middle section to be glass and open, the coffee shop facing onto the street, so that anybody walking past will know that they can come in. So there's a number of different things that come with that we're going to have a concertina wall between the cafe at the front and the chapel so we can open up into a bigger space. We're going to move the meeting rooms that are currently at the front of the building to the back of the building. We're going to go up above the cafe, so there's extra space up there, and reconfigure some of the internal parts so that it meets the needs for us going forwards for the next 20 years. We've been talking about this for about 2 years. It has been a lot slower than we'd hoped. Turns out, designing buildings and getting through planning takes a lot longer than I expected. So we've been through 2 rounds of planning, and we've had to make some changes to the building. The latest thing is that there's a sewer, a very deep main sewer that runs along the front of the building, and we can't go within about 3 meters of that sewer and change the foundations. So we're still going to do everything we want to do, but we've just got to change slightly how the weight is distributed to make it happen. So it's another round of drawings. So it's taking time, but the aim hasn't changed. It's still to open up the building, to make it a home for us as a church so that we can reach out to the community and make it more of a home to them so more people can come in and hear the good news of Jesus. Amen? Brilliant. So that's the plan. So we want to create the centre, make the centre more accessible, welcoming and accessible to the community, to create more available spaces for us to use, and to have improved access point to support services. Okay, next one. Next steps. Just so you know, we still think that the building is going to cost around £1 million. We don't know exactly because we haven't finished the technical drawings. So the technical drawings are still being done. We're going to finish those technical drawings. Then we will get the full cost package. We'll know exactly how much it's going to cost. And then we are going to fundraise to meet that need. We think it's going to cost around £1 million. We think selling our offices in Rustington and keeping the play centre downstairs, but selling the building will raise about half of that. So we're looking to fundraise with different grants and organisations another £500,000 over the next period of time. That's where we got to. It hasn't really changed. There's not been a lot of updates, but we're still moving forwards and there's still stuff happening. So we would love you to think about what you can pledge towards that. I'm going to hand over to Becca to tell you more.
Okay, so you will have, there are some cards around if you, they're on the seats of the chairs. If you want to in any way pledge an amount or an amount over a period of time, then please do feel absolutely free to do that. I think that we have the most amazing opportunity. We have an opportunity, maybe the band can come up, that's brilliant. We have an opportunity to bless our community. We have an opportunity to be the hands and feet of Jesus in the place that we live. Don't you think that's an amazing opportunity? It really is. This is the gospel. Now, I was listening to Justin Briley, because I love listening to Justin Briley. If you haven't listened to him, please listen to him on the podcast. It's absolutely brilliant. They're talking about all social reforms that have happened in our time and before our time. They are all Christians that have done those things. Hospitals. It's because Christians stood up and said, this is what we're going to do, that we have hospitals. Hospices, education, social care, social services, all of it is because Christians said there is a different way. We are going to care for our community. All of that is Christians that put their heads on the block and went for it. Now, sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we forget the roots of what happened, and we just think, oh, this just happened. It's just the NHS. Of course there's the NHS. Well, no, that these things happen because Christians started something. They started something which was incredible. Let us never, ever cut off the roots of what we're doing. The roots is the gospel, Jesus, the good news. That's why we do what we do. That's why we're not doing it just to be kind and nice. We're doing it because we believe there is a God who changes lives, and he changes lives for the better. We believe that there is a God who loves us and loves this community, and that's why we're going to give our lives to it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give our finances. We're going to give our prayers. We're going to say, we want to see your kingdom come. Your kingdom come. What does the kingdom of God look like? What does it look like when the kingdom of God comes into this area? that's what we're going to go for. There's a brilliant song. It's called "This Is the Gospel," but it says this. I'm just going to read the lyrics. In the beginning, this is God. You sent the earth spinning, fashioned us from the dust. And since your existence, there's only been one mission for you to commune with us. And then came the garden. We became the fallen. Sin made us lose our way. Oh, but the love that is too good to give up set a course for amazing grace. This is the gospel. This is the good news. Tell everybody how he saved you. This is the gospel. Come hear the good news. Tell everybody there's a God who loved you, loves you. Then came the Saviour, was born in a manger, raised up to ransom us, healing the blind, raising dead back to life, all the signs of his perfect love. And there on the cross, how he paid every cost. He defeated death, hell and grave. And on that third morning, the stones started rolling. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is the gospel. This is the good news. Tell everybody how he saved you. This is the gospel. Come hear the good news. Tell everybody there's a God who loves you. That's what our vision, our dream for the Wickbourne Centre is. That the gospel becomes a display, a city on a hill. Everyone can see. Walk in those doors and you know Jesus is there. You know that there is something different in the way that people are talking and working together. It's a place where people feel safe. It's a place where people feel at home. That's what we're going to go for. And we need your help to do that. We need your help financially to do that. We need your help in encouraging us to, keep going with that. Come on, I know sometimes you come against something and you're like, it's so hard. Does anybody even think this is a good idea anyway? And we need your encouragement. We need your prayers. We need you to say, come on, let's do something amazing. We've had a great 20 years, haven't we? Well, we've got 20 more years. Well, more than 20 years. But what are we going to do with this? Are we going to settle? Are we going to have just like a nice little coffee shop or just carry on letting it die? Or are we going to say, we're going to grasp this and we're going to see God's kingdom come in this community, and we're going to put our hand to the plow, and we're going to roll our sleeves up, whether that's whether that's praying, whether that's being part of it, whether that's giving, whether that's encouraging, whatever that is. We want to build the barn together. We want to build something together that sees the kingdom of God come. Anyone want to do that? We got I want to see more. I was thinking of the 25th birthday. Wouldn't it be great for the 25th birthday, right? We're like, whoa, look what's happened. 5 years. That's 5 years, everybody. And 20 years from now, wouldn't it be great if, we were saying, revival came to our community? God met with us in a way that we couldn't have hoped or dreamed of, and we found that people got saved. We're such a small group of people, really, in the middle of this community.